Well, good morning, everybody. We're reading through Jeremiah 7, 8, 9. And it was a difficult time to be a prophet. It was a difficult time to be one who's dedicated to Yahweh. It was a mess. Manasseh had really made a mess of things. Even though he repented, he was not able to turn the people's hearts back. Just because a leader repents does not mean the country is going to follow. And they had been so much into idolatry at this time that they just weren't turning back. And when you consider the mess of the country itself, there were shrines on every street corner. There were offerings being made on the high places. People were sacrificing their children. There was even the temple had been desecrated, had been changed so that it housed the worship of several gods. And still these same people who had these household gods and everything else were coming before Yahweh and offering sacrifices because it was a religious thing, not a relational thing. And it was just a mess. It was a terrible mess. It was such a mess that the Lord spoke through Jeremiah and said, "Don't think that that I live here. Don't think this is my temple. I don't live here anymore. You don't have my presence anymore." He spoke so plainly to them. You don't have my presence anymore. I am no longer with you. I don't dwell in this mess. You got to remember that this is the God whose holiness is so great that he warned Israel when they were in the desert to make sure that they buried their waste, because he would be walking through the camp and he didn't want to see that. And yet here they were sacrificing their children, and they would think that Yahweh was still there. They were so double-minded that they were still bringing sacrifices to him while sacrificing their children and thinking that he would be okay with that, because there was no connection. It was a disconnect. You got to realize that the law had been misplaced somehow, and it wasn't until after Manasseh was with King Josiah that they found the law, and they realized just how bad things really were. And it's this terrible, terrible situation. And all he said is like, you can have my presence again. I'd gladly dwell among you. Just, be just with each other. Be righteous in your relationships with each other. Treat each other well, and honor me. Honor me, and I'll live among you again. Even to this day, the world rejects Yahweh, rejects Jesus Christ, because it's so simple that they don't believe it. He's made it so simple that they think, no, it's got to be more complicated than that. In fact, it's so simple that even believers don't believe it's so simple. Even believers try to earn their own redemption. Even though Jesus did it, even though he said it is finished, the work is finished, it's done, the work of redemption is done, we still do things where we think we're earning our way by reading our Bible. That's 1 point. By praying, that's 2 points. It's almost like a video game in our head with this thing, that we're earning anything with the Lord. We don't earn anything. We have a relationship. I mean, I don't earn brownie points with my wife because I love her, and because I do things that show that I love her. I don't get brownie points. I don't get to a new stage or anything. We grow together in intimacy, and that's what it's supposed to be with the Lord. We grow in intimacy with him. Our obedience allows us to know him even better, to go further, to go deeper. And so this is what it's supposed to be. But most of the world just rejects him because it's easy as that, as simple as that. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. it is a gospel of love. It is a gospel of grace. It is a gospel of peace. It is a gospel of joy. Yeah. It's not complicated. It's all about relationship. You guys be blessed today. Know that he loves you. He's for you. He's not against you. And if he is for you, who can be against you? God bless.